Hello students, have a good day all of you. Myself is Ravindra Budwansar from Sritilok Jain Higher Secondary Vidyalaya Pathradi. We know that in our day-to-day life, chemistry plays a very important role. Chemistry is all over around us. I can say without chemistry, life is not possible. So everywhere, with every step, we have the relation with chemistry, but many times we don't know it. So this subject is of utmost importance in our life. We are going to discuss the various points from chemistry in the videos henceforth. These videos will be from 11th and 12th chemistry syllabus, and these videos will be very helpful to all of you, the students, because whatever topic is taught in the class to you, there is possibility of not understanding the entire topic in the class. So you can see these videos again and again and clear up the topic which is taught to you. Now, this is the chapter from 11th chemistry which we are going to study today. Now here on the screen you can see the picture. Activated charcoal is there. We know charcoal. So activated charcoal and the gas molecules which are accumulated on the surface of this activated charcoal, you can see here. Now from this picture you can imagine what it may be. So dear students, this is a quite different phenomenon to you. This phenomenon is quite common in our day-to-day life, but we don't think about this. Now this picture, it clears us that there is a substance, and on the surface of this substance the another molecules are accumulated or deposited. So students, this phenomenon, it is called as adsorption. It is called as adsorption. So the chapter which we are going to study today, the name of this chapter is Adsorption and Colloids. Adsorption and colloids. This concept we are going to study in this chapter henceforth. The topics or concepts which we are going to study in this chapter are adsorption. First of all, we are going to study in details about the adsorption. Then the second topic will be catalysis after the adsorption. Then third topic will be colloids, and at the last of this chapter we shall study emulsions. So these topics or concepts which are the main topics in this chapter, we are going to study these chapter topics. Now what is adsorption? We shall start with our topic. What is adsorption? Now if you, before going to the actual definition of adsorption, we can see the solid and liquid surfaces tend to attract gases or gaseous molecules or the substances which are dissolved into it. So solid or liquid surfaces, they attract the other molecules, maybe gas molecules, maybe liquid molecules, maybe solid molecules which are dissolved into them, with which they come in contact, they come in close contact. These solid or liquid surfaces, they come in the contact with the other substances, gaseous molecules, solid molecules, liquid molecules, and they tend to accumulate these substances on their surfaces. This is because of unbalanced molecular forces at the surface. This is because of unbalanced molecular forces at the surface of that solid or liquid. Due to unbalanced forces of the molecules at the surface, which are experienced by these molecules at the surface, the lower side of the substance, they have more force of attraction from the molecules which are in the bulk, but from the upper side, from the above the surface, there are no force of attraction, and therefore at this place, at this surface, the molecules have the unbalanced forces, and due to they tend to attract the other molecules of gases or liquids or solids with which they come in contact, and therefore this phenomenon is called as adsorption. So accumulation of the molecules of a particular substance on the surface of other substance, it is called as adsorption. The substance accumulates on the surface of solid or a liquid. Now the substances which are smaller particles, they accumulate, they deposit on the surface of a solid or liquid substance. Now adsorption is caused by the forces of attraction known as London forces. Now London forces we have already studied. So adsorption, it is caused by the London forces or also known as London dispersion forces, or also called as Van der Waals forces. So Van der Waals forces, which are weak forces of attraction, they are responsible for accumulation or deposition of the smaller molecules on the surface of liquid or solid. Tendency of a surface to have minimum surface tension leads to adsorption. Now I told you that the forces at the surface are unbalanced forces. Due to these unbalanced forces, the surface tension increases. But to minimize surface tension, these substances, they have tendency to accumulate the other substances or molecules on their surfaces, and this is responsible for the causing of adsorption. Now we shall study some terms which are involved in the phenomenon adsorption, because we should know these terms, then and then only we can go through the adsorption process or adsorption phenomenon. So what are these terms? First term is adsorbent. Now, adsorbent, the substance in the bulk on the surface of which adsorption takes place, it is called as adsorbent. Now let's take any solid substance on the surface of which the gaseous molecules get accumulated. That solid substance which is in bulk, which is in large amount, which provides the surface for adsorption, it is called as adsorbent. Then second term is adsorbate. The substance, the molecules of which get adsorbed on the surface of the adsorbent is known as adsorbate. The substance of which the molecules get adsorbed on the surface of the adsorbent, it is called as adsorbate. That means here gaseous molecules or solid or liquid molecules, particles, they get adsorbed on the surface of other substance in the bulk, that is adsorbent, and these gaseous molecules or the solid particles, liquid particles, of which substance they are adsorbed on the surface of adsorbent, that substance is called as adsorbate. Now, example of adsorption, if you see some few examples which are generally observed in our day-to-day life or in chemistry, there are some examples of adsorption. Here you can see adsorption of gases like dihydrogen molecule, dioxygen molecule by finely divided metals like platinum, palladium, copper, nickel, etc. That means if you take the finely divided powdered metals like platinum, palladium, copper or nickel. Then the dihydrogen molecules or dioxygen molecules which come in contact with the surface of these metals, they are accumulated on the surface of these metals, and this is nothing but phenomenon adsorption. Then adsorption of gases like nitrogen, dinitrogen molecule, that is N2, then carbon dioxide gas by activated charcoal. We saw the picture in the first slide that the activated charcoal, and on which the surface of it the gas molecules are accumulated. So that is example, nitrogen gas or carbon dioxide gas. These molecules get adsorbed on the surface of activated charcoal. Then adsorption of coloring material like organic dye on charcoal. On the charcoal we can see the colored materials, colored particles of different organic dyes. Dyes means artificial colors. So colored particles of these organic dyes, they get adsorbed on the surface of charcoal. These are some few examples of adsorption in the chemistry. Then next term which is involved in this phenomenon adsorption is desorption. Now here desorption means opposite to adsorption. D means removal. So whatever particles are adsorbed on the surface of adsorbent, particles of adsorbate which are adsorbed on the surface of adsorbent, if they are removed reversibly, they are removed from the surface by any reason, then it is called as desorption. You can see the process of removal of an adsorbed substance from a surface of adsorbent is called as desorption. So process of removal of adsorbed substance from the surface of adsorbent, it is called as desorption. D means removal, sorption means whatever adsorbed particles are there, they are removed. So adsorption process is reversed here. Then sorption. What is this sorption? Sorption, when both adsorption and absorption occur simultaneously, it is known as sorption. Now what is this phenomenon? In a particular process, this may happen that the adsorption takes place as well as absorption takes place. Absorption means the particles are absorbed in the bulk of the substance. In the adsorption, the particles of the adsorbate are adsorbed on the surface of the adsorbent, but the particles of the substance, if they are absorbed in the bulk of the substance, then it is called as absorption. So there may be some few process in which adsorption and absorption, both processes take place simultaneously, that is known as only sorption. Example is given here, a chalk dipped into the ink. Ink molecules, they are adsorbed at the surface of the chalk. Surface becomes colored. Whatever color of ink is there, that colored chalk surface becomes colored. We can see that color, and the solvent of the ink, it is absorbed into the chalk. So it is absorbed into the bulk of the chalk solvent present in the ink, and ink particles, colored particles, they are adsorbed on the surface of the chalk. This here both adsorption as well as absorption processes take place, and this is known as sorption. This is example of sorption. So these are terms involved in the adsorption. We shall stop here in this video. You see my next all videos, new videos of this topic will be there. Thank you very much.